So, because we hit it 120 subscribers, I wanted to do something special today. So I went to Kunststof and I climbed 120 boulders because we have hit it 120 subscribers. My first plan originally was to climb every single boulder in Kunststof, but because there are right now a few boulders that are just quite hard and quite weirdly set, I won't be doing every single boulder but just 120, like the amount of subscribers we have right now. I'm really thankful for the amount of subscribers we have right now, and I definitely think that without like the motivation of the people watching my videos and the people commenting under my videos, I think without their support and without their really nice comments, I don't think I would still be doing YouTube right now. Sometimes I get really weird looks from people that just really don't know why I'm doing YouTube, but for some people YouTube is something that can like bring them happiness, and sometimes it can really be like nice to just do something that you really like, show it on camera and making videos out of it, so you can like not think about other stuff in life. I have been through a lot, but without YouTube I probably wouldn't be the person that I'm right now. So yeah, I'm just really happy with that. So yeah, we will begin with the number ones and we'll just gradually build up. So we'll begin with 1, then with 2, then with 3, etc, etc, etc. It's going to be quite a long video, so I'm not really, I don't really think that there will be a lot of people that just watch until the end, but alright, for the people that want to see the hard stuff in this video, there are some 9s and 110 at the end of the video, and I've also put some other climbs as well at the end of the video that I did a few sessions earlier, because I felt like 110 really wasn't enough to end this video on. So yeah, if you are really interested in seeing those really hard climbs, then keep watching till the end of the video, or skip to the last few timestamps to see the harder climbs. So yeah, for the rest, yeah, I really want to do some other stuff besides only like doing the rating series, because sometimes it just feels like I'm doing the same thing and posting like the same thing over and over and over again. It's definitely a really fun series, but I also want to mix it up with some other things as well, and not really like feeling like I'm only like depending on the rating series on this channel. And I also don't want to be known as the rating guy, but there is also some challenges that I really want to try out, and there's also some really fun video ideas that I really want to do sometime. I also want to really discover the world, go to really much climbing gyms in other countries as well, and I just really want to climb a lot more harder grades. I feel in the Netherlands a lot of the climbing gyms are like lower climbing gyms, are usually like set until like 7C, maybe as max grade, which like there's nothing wrong with that, but like a lot of the bouldering gyms that I've been to feel like they are more setting things for like beginners. It's only like really like the monk gyms that usually like set really hard stuff, and some other gyms of course like the campus, but those boulders are usually like really sandbagged. Like the 8 days just really feel like impossible, or like a really long time project that you can maybe do if you're lucky to have like stuck every single move. But yeah, I was maybe also thinking about also maybe like making more kind of like funny videos, and maybe also some competition like videos, like maybe trying to film the base open competition next year, but I will have to need a cameraman to film me when I maybe get into finals. I do think that I have a really good chance to get into finals next year, because I definitely felt like I definitely improved a lot with like my climbing. But yeah, like, it's always really hard to say because there's a lot of really strong people usually like climbing in those competitions, like people that usually like climb 7C in the same session and then like do one-arm pull-ups as warming up after that before going like into the final boulders. So yeah, it's really hard to say. Then there is of course also lead climbing, which I'm also really looking forward to. I haven't really done that in a really long time. So yeah, I'm basically like waiting until my friend is back to do that. But yeah, he's right now in America, so yeah, without him being back, I don't have a belayer, so that's why I'm, kind of like moving it more to the future. So yeah. So yeah, we're now at 1/4 of the amount of boulders that we need to do. I thought maybe nice to say that. So yeah, I have thought a lot about places where I really want to go someday. I definitely really want to go to Spain, uh, definitely at least once in my life. Check out those really cool outdoor bouldering areas and also try to do maybe some lead routes there. I also really want to go to Japan. That's probably the place where a lot of the Dutch climbers want to go to, but alright. I just, every single time when I see a video from like Japan, I see these really cool like dynamic boulders, comp style boulders, and these really sick like power boulders that you would never really see in like a ordinary gym. So yeah, that's why I really want to go to Japan, to just like feel how how it's so different from like the normal standard gyms you will see when traveling all over the world. Some other place that I also really want to go to is Canada. I've seen a lot of like climbing YouTubers from Canada, and they set these really sick, like super cool comp style boulders. Like a lot of boulders look like they could definitely like be somewhere in the World Cup. Also, their bouldering gyms are super modern. They look really nice, and like the holds they use are also some of like the newest holds that they have on the planet when it comes to climbing. And they also have really hard boulders there. Like they work there with like free grades, which is more like American style, which is understandable because they are literally like above America. They have like a lot of gyms too, so yeah, there's like a lot of to check out there. And I also heard that they also had some really nice lead climbing there, so yeah, definitely like one of the places I really want to check out later on in my life. Then there is of course also the American gyms. They said a lot more like dynamic stuff, but also some really nice powery like crimpy stuff. And yeah, like I also seen like a lot of stuff from like American gyms on Instagram too. And there's also Josh Kavanaugh, who also lives in America, who also visited some of like the climbing gyms there, which is also like they looked so fun to climb in. And I'm kind of like jealous that I'm still here in the Netherlands, to be honest. And then there's of course also like Fontainebleau or like Friends. I also want to go to Friends for a pretty long period of like time and not just like 1 week. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Maybe I also want to go to Australia. But yeah, one thing that is not really that nice about Australia is probably like really big insects there. I was quite afraid of like the spider, and I still am a little bit. Yeah, I just really don't like how they look. And yeah, I think in Australia I will have a really good time with like spiders and big insects, because Australia is basically like the place where every single insect that you're probably most afraid of is living. So yeah, I rather just want to like not go to Australia only like for the climbing and just like live in like a really clean place there, because yeah, I'm not really looking forward to getting jump scared by a really big spider when I wake up, but I also think it's good to get over my fears, I guess.
Scaring Mexican mom with giant spider.
So yeah, we're now at 5s. Yeah, the reason why I didn't put the 4 at the previous grade was because of the reason that because the whole boulder is a 5 and the 4 is a XS, I didn't really felt like it was really like that it really counted as a 4. So yeah, that's why I put it whole boulder here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. We're right now at our halfway point. So yeah, that's pretty nice, I guess. So yeah, I brought something with me. So yeah, I bought these really nice donuts with me. I would always eat them when I was younger. My grandma would always bring them when I was like at the youth training, and I always really enjoyed eating them. So I wanted to eat some with you guys as kind of like a break. So yeah, enjoy this kind of like mukbang, I guess. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to eat them all. I don't want to, you know, have a lot of sugar at once. So I'm going to save some for later. It's pretty nice. So yeah, there are some problems when it comes to like, you know, climbing every single boulder in this gym, because there just are some boulders that just are like super duper weird, and some are just really hard, and I don't really get some of the boulders. It's usually like 3 in the gym or 2, and basically the rest of the boulders I can usually just do easily. But yeah, I guess doing 120 boulders in a session is good too, I guess. Alright, that was the break. Let's climb more. 6s. It has already been quite a long video, and yeah, we're a little over halfway. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to do this every single time. I only will be doing a challenge like this when it's something special that happened. In this case it was 120 subscribers. So when we hit 250 subscribers I will be doing something special too. I will probably then go for like a whole doing every single boulder in the gym kind of video, but I still have to see to which gym I'm going to be doing that then. So yeah, I think it will be quite interesting to see that, I think, but it will probably be a really long video as well. So yeah, a other thing that I want to talk about is well, I've made a few videos about saying that I won't be climbing in this gym anymore, and I think I won't be climbing in this gym anymore when I have climbed something that is really hard and that I'm satisfied with ending, climbing Kunststof. They now of course have the grading system with 1 being the easiest and then 10 being expert. So yeah, you usually also have these grades, like the hardest grade is 7B to 8A. So I think my goal will be to do the hardest graded boulder in the gym, which is 8A, and then just closing climbing Kunststof. I think that's a pretty good goal, even though I think that this gym is not really that hard, and I also feel that a little bit compared to like some of the other gyms I've been to. I definitely still have some fun in this gym. I definitely prefer this gym right now over Kastov, because I feel like the wood setting between Kastov and Kunststof is just really weird. Sometimes Kunststof just said something really weird and just has these quite bad sets. They had that for a while and now it's basically like reversed. Now Kratstoff has like these really bad sets that are just like really crimpy and don't really always make that much sense, which is really weird, but if you can like switch gyms, I think it's still alright. But I would definitely get really sad if both of the gyms just only like set at really bad stuff. I probably also wouldn't really climb in this gym then anymore, because a big part of like even like climb in this gym is because of the pretty hard 7B plus grading, and of course also the higher boulders when there are higher boulders. Because sometimes they do set some pretty interesting stuff in Kunststof, but a lot of the times I kinda, go to other gyms and just wait it out until they set something that's hard enough and interesting enough for me to, have to project on and to have like a lot of sessions on. So having a boulder that you can like project a little bit on is definitely like really nice. I definitely still remember the day that they set a 8A, and I'm still waiting for a new one from like this gym, because I definitely think that I'm now pretty ready to try pretty hard on that boulder. So yeah, sometimes I have a problem with the wood setting in this gym, because sometimes the holes just feel super slippery, and also a lot of the wood setting is like quite crimpy in this gym. I have seen a lot of people just like falling out of 8s or 6s. I am going to be honest, I fell one time out of a 4 and I was not happy at all. Like, it was a warming up and I would thought like, alright, it's a 4. Let's just warm up. And I was like in the middle of the boulder and just like my hand slipped and I had like, the most nastiest hold also in my hand. It was just like over instantly. But yeah, slippery holds is usually like a pretty big problem with like gun stuff. Sometimes it just really feels like they don't clean the holds properly, or that they just have a lot of climbers with like really sweaty hands climbing there. Because for some reason it's quite normal to see people just like falling out of like really easy boulders. Like you can see that quite a lot. Even though the holds on this day were a little bit less slippery, I definitely felt it still. There was like this slab 9 you guys will see more at the end of the video, where I literally like fell out of like 5 times because of one move that was so extremely nasty and like slippery, and I was like not fun. Like I was like really like getting pissed off with that boulder. So yeah, boulder 87 I struggled a lot on. That was quite really unnecessary. Yeah, I did this boulder quite easily when I tried the boulder for the very first time. But like after having done 87 boulders, I kinda was getting tired, so I kinda used really weird pila for some of the boulders. Definitely on this moment I felt like the tiredness was really like kicking in. Like my muscles felt really tired. I had muscle cramps quite a lot right now, definitely in power boulders. So it was quite hard for me to keep climbing without taking a really long rest. Even though I still make it look quite easy, that's also because of the reason that I kinda have this thing where I try to climb a boulder quite fast and quite flowy always. That's kind of like makes it look like I don't really struggle on it that much, even though I am in reality having a lot of cramps and a lot of pain. At this moment my arms and my fingers felt really sore. My fingers felt like they have been through a lot, and they also started being quite painful, and my arms felt like were burning, and like it felt quite hard to still have a little bit of like motivation to go on. But because I was quite close and already on my 19th boulder, I just pushed forward and tried to do the rest of the boulders. But fatigue was definitely like the big problem when climbing. I felt so tired after such a long amount of time, so having bought those donuts really didn't do that much, except just giving me a little bit more energy. But I felt really horrible. I felt really tired, and I just tried to push forward, which did help. But definitely when I am going to try to clear like a whole climbing gym, then I definitely have to have a little plan of what I am going to do. I think probably one of the best things to do is having good enough finger skin, making sure that the finger skin is okay on the day that I'm going to clear the whole gym. I also think like making sure to have enough rest between boulders and not just, trying a lot of boulders and just like keep doing that, because then you're gonna get tired real fast and then you're gonna get pumped, and then usually you get muscle cramps, and then you usually also have to stop climbing, or you can't really climb the super hard boulders anymore. So yeah, I think I want to prevent that definitely for my next video, where I'm going to climb a lot of boulders. So yeah, I think that this is what I'm probably going to change in my next video, when I'm going to try to do a lot of boulders. So yeah, by the way, this boulder is a boulder that my brother campused. Here's the clip of how my brother campused it. I think it's pretty funny to put that in the video, because it's of course a really long video. I think it doesn't really matter if I put this clip in, but yeah, it's quite insane. So we are now at the 8. That was the first boulder that I didn't do in my first attempt. It was quite a weird beta you had to do with like a U-hook, but after you find this U-hook, it's quite chill. quite the nines. This was quite a weird 9, but yeah, it was nice nonetheless. So yeah, that was probably my least favorite boulder. It was really sweaty, and yeah, this move that you just saw a moment ago was really droppable because of all the sweat that built up. It was quite nasty, but I eventually managed to send it. I think literally like the only move that makes this a 7A plus is probably like that one move there, but alright. So yeah, the 7A right here was probably one of my favorites. It was quite hard though after having done so much boulders, but I did manage to send it. So yeah, I definitely think that this 7A right here was quite soft. It didn't really feel that hard for me to do after having climbed so much boulders. It was basically like only like pressing and just like standing up and having your feet correct. Yeah, I think this is probably like the easiest 7A right now in the gym. So yeah, for the people that maybe want to climb their first 7A or want to climb another 7A, that is quite easy. Well, try this 7A right here in Kunststof. It's yeah, quite easy. So my brother went climbing a little bit later than me, so that's why he filmed this boulder for me. So yeah, this was my very last boulder, a 10. This one was quite soft though. But yeah, it was quite a weird move you had to do. But yeah, after a few tries I figured it out, and yeah, I did manage to do it. I think it was quite a nice boulder to end yeah, this challenge with. I think this challenge was very nice. Yeah, it tested my limits a little bit, and yeah, I really enjoyed doing it, doing this challenge a lot. So yeah, when we hit a higher subscriber count, I will definitely do something like this again, but then definitely like a lot more harder. So yeah, these clips that you see right now, this Black 7A was from my older session from a few weeks back. I saved some boulders from back then, and I wanted to show you guys these boulders because I felt like I didn't really do super hard boulders in this video, but rather just like a lot of boulders. So that's why I wanted to show you guys these boulders. So I like this boulder a lot. These holds were definitely like a big weakness for me in the past. But yeah, climbing on a pretty hard boulder with these holds is very nice. Yeah, it took me back a little bit to old Kunststof, which was very nice. So yeah, I really like this boulder a lot. So that was 120 boulders. As you guys can see, here is still the same. We did it! We did 120 boulders. Next video will be also from Kunststof, and I will be trying to do a harder boulder here. I'm gonna be trying to do my hardest boulder here right now, which is a 7C. We'll see how that goes, but it's a pretty quimpy one, so yeah. I'm very curious how that's gonna be. Well, for now, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.